Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Crispy, and since it's time for some Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time. This will be a guide to getting you to unlock multiplayer. All lives except for the 2 locked behind story progression and crazy good XP. All done in real time. So timestamps will be provided below if you want to jump around, but I am making this in real time so that you can see exactly the path and the amount of time it takes to unlock all this stuff. So I set out with the goal to unlock multiplayer, especially as quickly as possible, because multiplayer in this game is a blast, and it's only going to get better from what we've heard. So I wanted it unlocked very fast, and early guides will say it takes 2 to 4 hours, because multiplayer is locked behind story progression. Well, you can cut that 2 to 4 hours down to 40 minutes. As soon as you skip all the cutscenes and just go straight for it, because basically the game, it's gonna throw a lot of fluff in there. I mean, if you like the stories for these games, that's wonderful. I come here for the cozy gameplay, the relaxed good times, and this is one of the games that does it the best. Like, I haven't played a game that I've loved this much this quickly in years. It's so much fun. There's so much to do. There's so many different systems. There's so many different things to grind for. You are going to put in many hours in this. Almost to the point where you will have too much to do. So, not gonna get bored anytime soon. But multiplayer is definitely a really fun thing to have, especially if you have buds that have the game. And even if you don't, and you want to play with random people online, it's still a wonderful experience. And you can get some really amazing loot, and actually get really strong really early on. So not only is this guide going to help you unlock multiplayer very quickly, it's also going to help you be very strong early on in the game, because the faster you get to multiplayer, the faster you can just jump into an online room, get some XP, or get some loot that is well better than anything you would have gotten in the main story. And you're not going to be missing anything by doing this. If you're a story person, you could probably go online somewhere and find the story cutscenes. I'm just saying, it's probably a thing. Even if it's not, there's definitely going to be some place where you can actually read about it. And you're not missing anything by progressing too fast, because everything is still done at your own pace and will still be available to you. It's just, the game is structured in a way where the story for the first couple of hours is essentially a tutorial and explaining everything very slowly. But it doesn't have to be like that if you want to go faster. And that is what I'm going to show you here in real time. So we've made it to the starting island, and we're going to blow by this as quickly as possible, because we want to unlock our first life. And what I'm going to recommend as your first life that you take is Hunter. Hunter is an amazingly OP early life. It has an escape by letting you do a backflip so you can take a step back, and also doing AoE attack damage with that. It has a very fast, very strong base attack. Your charge attack is Rain of Arrows, which will drop a pile of arrows on your target, and eventually you unlock the ability to make them sleep, poison, or paralyze arrows. And yes, all these status effects work on bosses. I've been able to paralyze bosses. So essentially, they can't even fight back, and I can take down bosses that are much higher level than me. Hunter, very, very, very OP starting class. And this is gonna, you'll see in the video, this is gonna be done with very little skill points even used. And the Hunter will get us to where we gotta get to. So, very beginning of the game will take you to meet the king of the island. It's setting up the whole story. We're back in the past, and that's basically it. I didn't pay much attention to the story, except that it's got some time traveling aspects. But here's our first life right here. And like I said, this is where I choose Hunter. The very first life that you pick, I also recommend it being at least a combat class, because the combat class is going to be the easiest tutorial quest to do. And basically, once you do one tutorial quest for a life, you never have to do a tutorial quest for any life ever again. So whichever one you pick first, I say it's easier to be a combat one, because you're just going to go out, kill a few things, and then you're done. Whereas the other ones are going to be kind of a little bit back and forth. I do recommend that if you're new to the game, you're going to want to save at least one crafting profession tutorial quest so that you understand how the minigame works, because the minigame is basically, there's going to be 3 icons, or 3 to 4 icons, I think maybe up to 5 in later stages, up above your head, and you're going to have to match those with the equipment down below. It's kind of like a beat-based game, but you have to do it in a certain amount of time. So it takes a minute to get used to them. I recommend doing one tutorial for that one, and I recommend doing the tutorial quest for the fishing, because fishing works very differently in this game as it does in many other games. Because in this game, it is find a specific spot to hold your stick in, and then press corresponding buttons to attack the fish. So it turns the fish into a battle minigame, essentially. It's really fun, actually, when you get used to it, but is very jarring if you skip the tutorial. But if you're an intuitive gamer, you could probably get away with skipping them all. And this will all become more apparent and make a lot more sense in a second once we complete this first tutorial quest, which is just, as the Hunter, go out, patrol the village. We're gonna go kill a few enemies on the coast, and then we'll be able to move on, and it'll be wonderful. That backflip will save your life so many times, especially early on. You're actually going to see in real time me leveling the Hunter up, so you'll know that if you're following this, you can do it at the exact same pace and level that I'm doing it at. Nothing is going to be too strong. We are not going to die once. Every tutorial quest, I forgot, does actually have some sort of running around. There may essentially be a tutorial quest that is faster than this one. I guess if I was going to speed run this to try to get like the maximum lowest possible time to get to multiplayer, I would have to do a little bit more research on which tutorial quest is the quickest. Could be something I'd be interested in doing. Let me know in the comments below if you'd be interested in seeing something like that, challenge runs, stuff like that. I used to make a lot of challenge runs, videos, and live streams with Dragon Quest Monsters. There's a ton of that content here on the channel. So I would definitely be willing to do it with this game because I love this game so much already. I'm having so much fun. I've already put a combined probably 30 plus hours in the game with the 2 versions I have of it. That's a whole nother story. If you want to learn all the lore, please stop in to the live streams. We do live streams here on the channel, here on YouTube, weekdays 4 p.m. Eastern. So if you stop by weekdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, pretty much every weekday with the exception of Wednesdays, but still check by 4 p.m. Eastern. There's always going to be something new going on the channel on the weekdays. And we play a lot of cozy, laid-back games. We play a lot of fun games with our community. Our community's very laid-back, family-friendly, good times. And right now, this is just The Addiction, and I'll be doing a lot of content on this game. So we hope to see you there. Well, we're just about wrapping this up. We got paid for it. You'll see there's a couple of spots during the video where I definitely could have made some lines better, so I could have got it done faster, so that's why I will say that multiplayer is definitely achievable in under 40 minutes. Because we will get it at just over the 40-minute mark. I don't want anybody calling me out in the comments saying you didn't do it in under 40 minutes. Because technically, you can. Technically, multiplayer is unlocked the second you get the guild hall on your island. So I did. Just did, you know, I kind of messed around a little bit. Took me forever to customize my guy and name my island, which could have been faster, and then that tutorial quest could have been faster. So now we're going to go talk to Auntie Anne, and we're going to turn in our tutorial quest, and then the game is going to explain the day and night mechanic. There's some quests and some monsters that are only available at night, so the game has a day and night mechanic. So they are going to explain to you that you can go to sleep. You don't ever have to go to sleep, which is a great thing about the game. There is no required bedtime. You can just stay up and do whatever you want forever. There's no stamina meter that's going to run out and that you're going to need to refresh by sleeping. All sleeping does is get you back to daytime if you want it to be daytime, or get you to nighttime if you want it to be nighttime. So. Alright, that essentially unlocks the local co-op. Now, if you were buying this game for local co-op, I've got some sad news. Local co-op is literally just player 2 presses start and they can control your bird companion and you don't really have a life of your own. You can't really do much without player 1. So it's kind of a first experience hand-holding RPG co-op. It's not a true local co-op, so nothing to write home about. Right there, we just got paid $3,000 for finishing that quest, which will become very important here in the next coming minutes. So, because now we have a baseline of 3,000 gold, and the main quest is telling us to warp to our Life Master, which we can do. If you hit right on the D-pad, it brings up your lives so you can switch to them whenever you want, which is amazing. And also, there'll be a button that you can hit that will let you teleport to your Life Master. It'll let you teleport to any of them. So it can be a very strategic way to get back and forth, and it doesn't require the animation of stopping and waiting for the bone dragon to pick you up. It's It's a very cool way to teleport back to this main area. And what happened here was I didn't read the quest, I just fast forwarded because I'm trying to go fast, and this part killed me too because it doesn't tell you what the quest wants you to do. I mean, it just tells you that you need to complete Archie's challenge. So I can't remember if my first initial playthrough had a different style quest here. I think they are always combat based though, no matter what you pick. But I really don't remember, so this part could have been faster as well, but really all it wanted was to go kill 5 frogs, and then we can progress the story to what will essentially be the next most important thing that we're going to talk about here in the guide, which will be unlocking all lives, and the kicker being that the game pays you to do it. Pretty awesome. A lot of times in any of these games, whenever you want to switch class or anything, you have to like pay for it, and this game calls it a life license. So I kept being worried my first time playing, thinking, oh boy, here we go. It's gonna require so much gold to switch lives, and it's gonna be costly and grindy. Nope, they pay you to change lives, and that is how we are going to complete this next part of the main story requirement very quickly. So here we go. I'm going to show off the life menu again. You're going to hit right on the D-pad, and it brings you to your life menu, and you can teleport right to your master. And they will complete that quest, and now it says go talk to the Bone Dragon. This is where Auntie Anne becomes Tom Nook and says that you trashed her house and you have to pay her $10,000. Which, that house is in shambles right there. But you know, I don't see how that's our fault. But it was. So it's time to start the quickest grind in the game of getting all the lives unlocked. So what you could do here is you've done one tutorial life quest, and now you can just click on any other life. We're going to show the example with the paladin really fast. You walk over to the life master, which the paladin just happens to be right behind us. They hang out here at Auntie Anne's. And you can skip their conversation. As long as you don't need a tutorial for this life, which most of them you do not. And then bam, instant level up to fledgling rank. And they pay you $1,000 every time you do this. So rinse and repeat this until you have 10,000 and you're done with this quest. Lickety split. It's amazing. I love it so much. Made me so happy. When I figured this out, I'm like, oh man, we're gonna have to grind for a long time to get this money, to get this 10,000 gold. No, you don't. They pay you just to go walk around and talk to a life master real quick. And you just gotta do it 7 times and you're done. It's great. I love it. So the longest part it'll take is just finding every person's guild, but once you get there, you can skip through it pretty quick. And for the purposes of this video, I'm only going to do the 7 I need to do for the 10,000 and move on. But literally right here, you can unlock 12 of the 14 lives in the game just by continuously doing this. So in under 20 minutes, well, we'll say in under 25 minutes. It does take a long time to run back and forth. So maybe in under 25 minutes, you can unlock every available life and be able to switch back and forth to them whenever you need be. Because the way the game works, if you're not familiar, if you are out in the field and you walk up to a tree, you instantly switch to the woodcutter if you have the woodcutter unlocked. So why not have the woodcutter unlocked? if you walk up to a mining node and you want to mine it. If you have the miner unlocked, you instantly switch to the miner. If you walk up to a crafting bench and you want to cook yourself a meal before you go out, or just a meal to have while you're out battling, as long as you got the cook unlocked, you can do the cook minigame and make yourself some food with some of the stuff you picked up. So why not unlock all the lives as quickly as possible? That's what I'm saying. Again, you can do them all right here this quickly at the beginning of the game. It also gives you every set of armor and every starting tool, which is great, because then you will be able to use that later on for when you get party members, because you can just equip them with that extra gear, because they do come with stats. So another little tip there. Also, once you get to fledgling rank, every starting life quest, and the life quests are what you're getting, is what you're going to use to rank up your life. So if you don't realize that, I don't really show it off in this video. I can go into further depth. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below. But this starting island will be the key to ranking up from fledgling to apprentice, because the life quest will basically require you to do stuff that all happens on this island. But then after apprentice, it will be monsters and activities that you can do almost anywhere else. But again, don't worry too much about it. Just unlock them all so that you get the money so you can complete this quest. And so you have them all, and then you can go back and learn them and play them and level them at your leisure. Even if you're not going to level every single one of them, it's good to have all of them, like I said, in case there is like a scenario where maybe you run into a side quest or a personal request where they're like, hey, you gotta make me this. Well, at least you have the life that you can switch into to be able to make it for them. So why not have them all? Like, it's not like other games where you have to pay to get these things. They are paying you, so just get them all. Collect them all. It's great. We only have one more. Oh yeah, okay. So maybe that was faster. I didn't experiment with that in this speedrun. I thought it was faster just to unlock all the lives because you want to, but I just realized right there that if you do Auntie Anne's request, her quest specifically, it gives you a 3,000 gold reward, and it's not that complicated. It's just going and like talking to a few people. I think you might have to do some slight little bit of combat, but I wanted to unlock all lives, so this made more sense to me. But that would have got you straight to 6, and then you would have only had to do 4 of these lives instead of 7. But like I said, you're gonna want them all anyways, and you can have them all anyways, so you could do her request anytime and get that 3,000. But trust me, money's not gonna be a problem in this game. At least I haven't had any issues with it. We just made our 10,000 right there, so it is time to move on. We hit payback. It will advance the main story, and it will get us to the next step. So it's going to warn you at this point that you're going to have to leave the island for a little bit and you won't be able to access it. But it's for a very short amount of time, so do not worry about this at all. You're going to be coming back here a lot. I mean, again, this is where all your life masters are. You're going to practically live in this island. Don't worry at all. You don't need to be back here for a while. we're back in the present. We're on our, what is essentially going to be an island we're going to build from scratch. At this point, if you're following along, you should be level 5, and we're going to go and have to do a little bit more combat here. So we're going to take a look at our skill tree for the first time, and what I do with the hunter to be a really good starting ability, what I do with almost all the classes, the starting ability, I like to put a lot of points in this node over here to the right because it gives you skill points for your class to make your class stronger naturally. And then for combat classes, the north one will give you HP most of the time. So we have extra HP, we have extra damage now. Level 5. We are sitting pretty good. Now it's time to go down into the Depths dungeon, which is basically just a story dungeon. It's just story progression down here. You're not really going to spend a lot of time down here otherwise. At least not that I've seen so far. There is a corridor that has like a giant empty hole, which I'm guessing will be something in the late game. I've put over 30 hours in my combined copies, and a lot of it's just been chill grinding now. Welcome to Ginormosia. Ginormosia is a huge, huge map. And what Ginormosia is basically a really cool concept of these towers, right? You're going to have all these different zones, and these zones have these towers. You're going to earn points in these zones to level up the towers. If you level up the tower, it levels up everything in that zone. So essentially the starting zone is going to be level 5 to like level 18 enemies. Once you level up the tower, it's going to get higher up, so the monsters will be higher, the loot will be better, the stuff that gets dropped, like the stuff that you're mining and farming, will get better, which is really nice because it will make a starting zone feel fresh and new very often. That mimic right there, it was very important to encounter him as quickly as possible and catch him because that little cutscene only happens once, and now whenever you see a mimic, you will hunt them down and take them out, and they can drop some pretty good early game loot, and they will also be the main source of dropping grove saplings, which is a randomly generated dungeon every time you place it down with a roguelike element. That'll be really, really fun to play solo and in multiplayer. It's a really cool concept. We're meeting the Don now for the first time. He's a wandering trader, and this is where we are going to get our first free mount in the game, and also discover some other mechanics, which are pretty cool. Come over here, and this is talking to an enemy NPC that we're going to have to beat up in a second, and now we learn about Phantom Buddies. Phantom Buddies you will find here in Ginormosia. Occasionally, they will always say the word Phantom in front of them. Even if you have a full party, you can take a Phantom with you. And a Phantom is just there for a limited time, and they will help you out. This might have been the most challenging battle to do. We're a level 6 fighting a level 10. But because we have the Phantom with us, it distracts, does some damage, and we're able to take this guy down pretty easily. So it's really not anything to worry about, and you're definitely able to achieve it this early on. That was just a warning explaining that I ran out of SP, but even when you run out of SP, your base attacks still work, and the Hunter base attack is very good. That right there is the end of the quest, and the Don is so pleased with us, he gives us a mount. That's right, we get a mount this early on, in under 30 minutes. You're walking around with a mount. How often does that happen in a game, right? That's exciting. I was very, very impressed with that. Mounts are really cool because mounts, there's going to be some mounts that are story progression, there are going to be mounts that are craftable, and there's going to be mounts that are a chance of dropping from elite enemies. So that's pretty cool. All sorts of things to grind and have fun with in this game. Just this environment too. I don't think I show off the map here because I'm going as quickly as I can. And I do plan on making more guides. So I probably will... I did a live stream recently here on the channel where I took a level 1 life and unlocked every single one of the towers from the start. So you can take a look at that, and I'm going to turn it into its own separate video too, but very worthwhile doing. This is a shrine. I believe every shrine holds a strangeling. A strangeling is going to be essentially a piece of furniture that is a person trapped inside a piece of furniture, and we have to turn them back at our island. Some shrines will be combat based, some shrines will be puzzle based. But now we have our first strangeling in our pocket, our first shrine down. And that was all they wanted us to do here for now. Now you'll be able to come back, as this is going to be one of the 3 main points you can come back to at any point, because you're able to come back here to farm a bunch of resources that you need. Basically anything that you need in the game for crafting or just to get loot or anything will be found here. So you're going to spend a lot of time here, and there's going to be points where you're going to be able to even make entire base camps and have crafting benches and beds and everything here. So you could essentially live in that world at one point. So Ginormosia is a really, really cool place. I think now, yeah, we're about to learn the mechanic of the Strangelings, which is you come back... Oh, nope, not just yet. We'll do it here in a second. First, we have to go downstairs. Because basically, the professor here keeps getting himself into a bunch of sticky situations with the main enemy, Carla. And what that entails is it's... the professor's going to get himself trapped in some way, shape, or form, and then you're going to need to progress the story to free the professor, and it will a lot of times unlock a new system or just, you know, a new island in the game. So in this case, this is the last thing we need to do to unlock multiplayer, because the professor, we're in this room where they're talking about the history and everything. Again, I'm not following the story too much. It's not what I'm here for. But once we get out of here, the professor's going to get himself trapped behind a giant boulder, and the only way to break that boulder is to find a legendary miner. And that is the quest that you need to get multiplayer. So here we're going to see it happen right now. And now we're finally back at the Celestial Gift. So it explains that you're going to use Celestial Gifts from the island to change Strangelings back to life, which is awesome. You're going to be doing this a lot. Like I said, you're going to find Strangelings in shrines, and Strangelings have a chance of dropping from elites. It's really wild. There's so many Strangelings in the game to collect. I believe it said it was something like 49 or 69, something like that. And there's so many of them to collect. First I'll tell you about this. Yeah, so you're going to be starting to customize your island kind of Animal Crossing-like. And so we just unlocked our own house. You're going to be able to customize it, build stuff to put in there, buy stuff to put in there. You're going to be able to terraform your island eventually and put up more houses on your island and make it a thriving place to live. It's really cool. But back to the Strangelings real fast. You can fight elites, and every now and then when you fight an elite, if you see a silver chest that looks like it has eyeballs drop, that means you just got a new Strangeling. And when you do that, it will pop up, it will tell you what it is. They'll have like a little cutscene about themselves and tell you who they are and what they used to do. And then all you have to do is come back here to your main island, and as long as you have celestial gifts, which you should be able to have plenty of them, you'll be able to change it into a islander, which then essentially becomes a party member. It's fantastic. Right now, we are going on the main quest to unlock the miner. And now all this quest entails is just running straight back to the farthest point of the map after a ton of cutscenes. It's on the main starting island here. There's this starting zone where all your masters are, and then there's, they call the capital. The capital is where there's a lot of combat. There's also 2 world bosses here, a nap dragon and a giant bird at the top of a mountain. And you can farm those guys. And every time you kill it, they're on 5-minute respawns, and you can farm those guys for some pretty good early game loot. So you can mess around with them if you want. The island also holds chests in specific spots all over the place. The chests will not respawn. Enemies, though, will respawn as long as you reload the zone by walking in and out of a cave or walking in and out of the zone. Most of the enemies here are pretty neutral, so yeah, you can run by a lot of stuff. The Nap Dragon over there will never attack you. You have to initiate the battle, so don't be afraid by a level 40 monster sitting there. This little dungeon here on the starter island, it's good for starting resources. You can level up your mining in here. There's some enemies in here to kill that are between 12 and level 15. Not too bad for some grinding. This is where I was like, oh, I don't have to fight these guys. I can just run by them. So that's why, again, I say this can be done in under 40 minutes because I stopped and tried to fight things that I didn't need to fight, and I took a weird pathing. I really think if I really speed ran, I could probably do it in under 30. This part right here, you see a story NPC come to help you out, so don't worry about 3 level 10s coming to kill you, because basically most of the time you're only going to be fighting them one-on-one, as that story NPC is going to distract them a lot. So you really shouldn't have any problems here. You're always seemingly going to have a party member or a story member, so the game almost never has you by yourself, which is awesome and makes it so that you can get through content that maybe you're at too early. So, pretty nice. Another thing to remember too is that monsters can't fight you in other zones, so we're in another room, so those monsters couldn't attack us anymore. That and the cutscene stopped it from happening, so. But there we go, right there, officially at that point, technically multiplayer now is unlocked. So we did it at the 39th minute. Basically. Because all we have to do is get out of this cave, and then we can teleport back to our island, and that's when the guild office is there, and that's when multiplayer is unlocked. So all you had to do was complete that quest. You don't even have to bring the miner back to life yet, which we don't do in this video. We just go right into multiplayer. So pretty easily done, as long as you're following along. Yeah, when you walk out of here, there's a little cutscene. You're welcome to watch if you want, but you want to do it fast, and then don't. Turn to present so you can click on the map, go teleport to your island. And now we get to see the Island Guild office, which is going to be your main headquarters. This place is fantastic. You can do a lot here. You can build more villager housing. You can get special items here from the 2 vendors. You can manage your party. And then most importantly, your multiplayer menu. In multiplayer mode, all experience is shared. Not all loot is shared, but it kind of is. If you're in the same range and you get a hit on the monsters, you will get a chance for drops. If you're not in the same area, you're just going to get basic resources given to you from anywhere else. But basically, here's your next bonus tip. As soon as you unlock multiplayer, if you want to power level one of your lives, just join a random room that's a high ranking room. And I didn't even realize this until I did this by accident. You're going to join one of these rooms. I ended up joining a room where the tower, the zone was rank 4. So these enemies were in their 50s. And I was like, I just wanted to see the zone. I just wanted to make sure I could get into multiplayer this fast and there wouldn't be any restrictions. And they didn't put any restrictions on this room. So I can join this room. And what happens is you'll see a pop-up here. You see right now I'm level 12. And you're going to see a notification. There you go. That so-and-so reached level 28. They just got experience. So I got that experience as well. Even though I'm not anywhere near them. And even though I haven't done a single thing except join a room, I got that experience. Now, it didn't show here. There was some sort of little bit of a lag. But you'll see, the second I exit this room, I'm going to go from level 12 to level 23. And I was so shocked the first time this happened, I had to test it again. So that's what we're about to do again. Look at that, I'm level 23, and I'm like, whoa, how did that happen? What? That's wild. So I'm going to switch over here to my miner. My miner's level 1, and we're going to go join another multiplayer room, and you're going to see the level 1 go straight up to level 20. It's just amazing. So if you want to power level, and again, life quests require you're required to complete life quests to rank up. So all you're doing by power leveling your classes this way is you're getting a ton of skill points that you're not even going to be able to use. So there's still a cap. You still have to earn the ability to unlock skill nodes. This is just giving you the skill points ahead of time. And I feel like that's really beneficial and really cool. I hope it's not something that they end up nerfing, but there is a possibility that they will, because this could be considered OP, but I think there's no harm in it. I love it. I think it's great. But essentially, if you haven't picked up this game yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. This game is amazing. I love it. It's available on everything. They just announced that it's going to be on Switch 2 on day 1, and if you bought it on Switch already, you're going to be able to upgrade for only a few dollars, which is insane. The devs are listening to the community and making adjustments based on our feedback, so definitely make your voices heard. And crossplay on everything. You can crossplay with anybody on any system. It's amazing. Cross save too. It's amazing. There you go. Level 1 to level 22 just because somebody leveled up. Amazing. I love it. And this is only scratching the surface. I just made this video to show you how to unlock all this stuff fast. But there's so many other guides out there and so many other tips I have and so much more content we can make on this. So make sure you're coming back to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe for more. We live stream here on the channel at 4 p.m. Eastern most weekdays. And yeah, come enjoy this game. Like, it's a great, wonderful game. Love it so much. I'm going to be playing a lot of it. And yeah, come join the cozy community that we got here. We'd love to have you. So, hope to see you, and until next time, always remember, stay crispy.